Matter should not exist, we should not exist, and the universe as we know it today should not exist. Let's go back to the beginning. Around 13.8 billion years ago, our universe kicked off with the Big Bang. During the first moments of our universe, matter particles collided with its oppositely charged counterpart and annihilated in bursts of light and photons, as stuff just continues in the cycle of creation and destruction as our universe expands and cools. The particle that matter collided with? That's the antimatter particle. Antiparticles are just like normal particles, except they have the exact opposite charge. In the atom of matter, we have the electron with the negative electric charge and the proton with the positive electric charge. But in the atom of antimatter, they have the exact opposite. And in particle physics, it's thought that every single particle there is potentially has an antimatter counterpart, with the same mass, just the opposite charge. But it turns out matter and antimatter aren't very different after all. An apple made of antimatter would look and feel exactly the same as an apple made of matter. That's because particles of antimatter behave well with one another, and interact in the exact same way that particles of ordinary matter interact. In fact, if the roles were reversed and our entire universe was made of antimatter, we wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's like negative numbers and positive numbers. Negative 2 squared is 4, just like positive 2 squared is 4. But what happens when you combine negative 2 and 2? See, the problem occurs when matter and antimatter interact. When matter and antimatter meet, they annihilate in a burst of light and energy that leaves nothing behind. But it's estimated that during the Big Bang, 1 in every billion matter particles survived this annihilation and created all of this. But the Big Bang was thought to have created equal amounts of matter and antimatter particles. As we can see now in bubble chambers, when fast-moving particles collide, their energy creates equal amounts of matter and antimatter in pairs. Then why do we have so much more matter than antimatter in our universe today? Why do we have this great big imbalance? This is an important question that physicists have been trying to answer for the past century. If there's so much more matter today, then something must have happened in that short period of time that tipped the scale in favor of matter and determined the world we have today. Although we don't know the exact reason for this, we can understand there's a difference in behavior between the two particles, which we call CP violation, the violation of CP symmetry. In order to turn an antiparticle into a particle, or vice versa, we have to switch the charge, C, and we have to cause a parity change, P, which reverses the spatial coordinates. It's exactly like if you are right-handed, but when in front of the mirror, you appear to be left-handed. When charge and parity symmetry are met, a collision between the two particles will result in absolute annihilation. But CP violation occurred, and you should be happy it did, because well, you know, it's kind of the cause of everything. But we are yet to find out why it occurred, or what might have caused it to occur. But when we do find out, it will be huge. When we find out what caused this imbalance, and what led matter to get the upper hand, we will have learned so much about our universe, why it is the way it is, and our place in this vast world.